I am Pep Club member Jenna Lammer, and it is my pleasure to honor Paul Robert Cudd Sr., also known as Granddad. Born fourth out of 9 children in Baronet, Wisconsin, working hard on the farm, and being enlisted in the U.S. Army during World War II are just a few milestones in Paul's life growing up. After his service, he married his sweetheart, Janet Wells, and over the years had 7 beautiful children together. Paul was involved in many organizations and also started a company called Paul Cudd Sons, which led to other active community service projects. Although he wasn't able to participate in organized sports as a child because of his work on the farm, his love and support for his kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids was irreplaceable. Whether it was constructing a softball field with his kids or watching every single game from the sidelines, it was obvious how much his family meant to him. And if you didn't see him in the stands, you could definitely hear him. Paul was the best superfan and contributed his time, equipment to the teams in any way that he could. Granddad's Fund was established at RFHS to offer kids the opportunity to play interscholastic sports when financially impossible. The Wildcat Wrestling Hall of Fame was named in his honor, and I know his family and friends are extremely proud of him, love him so much, and miss him dearly. Speaking on behalf of the family of Paul Cudd Sr. is Mr. David Black. Welcome, Granddad, to the Wildcat Hall of Fame.
Thank you and congratulations to the rest of the honorees tonight. When Janet called me and asked me if I'd speak on behalf of the family, she startled me, she flattered me, and most of all, she scared me. I wasn't sure what I should say or do, so I asked my wife, Mary, I said, Mary, what do you think? And she said, well, you knew him very well, you loved him like you as your own dad, and you like to talk. So you might as well go ahead. No, but thank you, Janet, and thank you to all the Cudds for asking me to do this. And it's kind of interesting how Shelley talked about the 3 C's, and I look at this award as including the 3 C's. We have the competitors, the coaches, and the contributors. And we know that we had a contributor in Paul Cudd. Went by many names, Paul Robert Cudd Sr., Paul to most of us, Mr. Cudd to the little kids, PR to those that knew him through business, but best of all, we knew him as Granddad. So tonight I want to talk about him as Granddad. And 3 other C's that come to mind with me for Paul are community, caring, and compassion. And in the community, he was known in many businesses. He was the man that moved the earth with Paul Cudd Sons Excavating. He was the guy that hauled your leftovers away in the potty pumper. He built PR so he could celebrate weddings, ceremonies, and banquets. He built Cudd's Court so 180 individuals or families could have an affordable place to live. And he also built Cudd's Field for the community in the surrounding areas. And when I think of caring, I remember one time Paul and I, or Granddad and I, were having breakfast together at Mary's Cafe. And I was telling him a story about Mary and I, when we farmed, we used to have the West Side first graders out. And we'd always show the kids the cows and the calves and talk about the feed and the farm and show them how to milk a cow. And I'd always ask the kids if they knew how much a cow would drink. And the correct answer was 45 gallons a day, but I'd always tell them it was a bathtub full. Well, the kids would give me multiple answers. And one little guy in the back row raised his hand and said, I know the answer. So I said, all right, how much does the cow drink? He said, a bathtub full. I said, wow, how'd you know that? Patted himself on the chest and said, I was in first grade last year too. So, with Paul's deep baritone laugh that they could hear all the way down to the to Erickson's grocery store, he laughed, and then when he was done, he said, "You know what, David? Good for you. Good for you for caring enough to provide an opportunity for kids to see something they never seen, to learn something they had never learned." He said, "Don't forget to care for the kids." And I've always remembered that was his motto. He loved the kids and he cared for them. And with his compassion, he always sounded loud and rough and tough in the stands. But I know he cared for everybody. He was passionate for all of them. He watched Joe win his state title at the state tournament, and Joe's dad, Paulie, won a state title. And that was the first father-son championship duo in the state of Wisconsin. And he watched JP, who is now a member of the Cleveland Indians baseball program, start in his career as a pitcher. And I'm sure he's up looking at every windup that JP has, looking for the perfect pitch. He always cared for everybody. He was compassionate for all the kids. And the one thing I wished, and that I know all of us that knew him are better because of it, and we're blessed because we knew him. And for those that didn't know him, I wish you would have. And when you walk into the school from now on and you see that picture of him, the bleacher is empty, but the wall is full of his accomplishments and that wonderful grin of his. And we'll always remember Granddad as the leader in this community and love the kids like nobody else I ever knew. Thank you. Congratulations to the Cudd family. You're a wonderful bunch of people.